Savio, the veteran for Loyola, Jake Naso, in the midst of one of the finest seasons by a freshman faceoff man in the history of college lacrosse. And Naso wins the opening draw. Duke plays it back. Dino's Devils, Charlie's Angels. The quarterfinals here in South Indiana will punch the final two tickets to championship weekend.
Body stop by Adler in perfect position. I like the Loyola offense, though. They're going to try to create some matchups, find a mismatch here and there against a short stick, and then short 5 to 8 yard passes to the interior for high quality looks. Loyola will not be in a rush today once in the settled set.
Joe Robertson lost his man, feeding inside to Aidan Olmstead, and Duke is on the board.
From St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida, the righty, Mike Adler. Superior positioning on that and good reflexes to boot. Here, this is a situation where if you can't stand up, you can't cover. And if you can't cover, you got issues on.
They're not sure how to defend Michael Sowers and this Duke offense. So if there's a chance here for an upset, what's Loyola's best bet?
Well, possession and then a shooting percentage. Like last week against Denver, I thought Loyola did a great job of ragging the shot clock down below 20 seconds and then converting. In their win streak, they're shooting really well late in the shot clock and in the fourth quarter.
James off the feed from Olmstead, and Loyola with the equalizer.
While Loyola may lack blinding dodgers, I think they have enough parts to create some dangerous offense today. Watch the carry across the top of the formation, the screen creates separation, and then underneath, Duke just napping off ball. And James flashes to who you want to play today, because Loyola can sting you in transition. Today, it's probably in their best interest to push when the opportunity's there, but when it's not, let's possess. Let's take body punches to this Duke defense.
Seth Higgins now, Charlie Toomey telling us his message to Higgins: keep growing for me, a freshman who's played his best ball down the stretch. Patra plays it back to X and Higgins. He's got the short stick matchup on Lindley, and Seth Higgins delivers.
This is just a continuation of their first round upset out in the Mile High City. Their loyal fans are here in full force in South Bend. An isolation
on Sowers. Duke's first offensive possession in about 4 minutes. Kevin Quigley over to Sowers. Here's the matchup. He'll give it up. Sean Lowry, that second midfield made up of veterans. Lowry, Riley Walsh, Quigley. They've played in a lot of big games, scored a lot of goals. Brennan O'Neill, ACC Freshman of the Year, ties it at 2.
O'Neill from Sowers. Keep your eyes on the big lefty. He'll curl in front of the defense. Catch and finish. Quarterfinals under my back. And that was a classic example. There was no double team there. That was kind of a middle of the road shot, Anish. Sam with the kick save with his right foot.
Higgins scored a goal against Lindley earlier in this quarter. That's the matchup again. Now help coming, Caputo picks him up on the switch. Lindley feeding inside to Patra. Higgins, pardon me, with the assist. Patra, the Canadian, with his 11th goal of the season.
Whitby, Ontario. Watch the off-ball defense. JT Giles Harris doesn't even know where the ball is. He's not in position to make lights, and the hype and the expectations for this young man were really unfair and off the charts. But I got to tell you, I love watching 34 and white play. I think he can have a big day today too, as a step-down mid-range shooter off of some Sowers isolations behind the net.
O'Neill against Higgins. O'Neill gets inside, fakes high, shoots low. The freshman delivers. We're tied at 3.
This is a young man who verbal Penn State back in 8th grade. Okay, he was no surprise. He had one of the most successful high school careers in history for St. Anthony's. The body, 6'2", 230. Knowing when to decelerate and not engage is critical.
O'Neill has 7-man-up goals for Duke. Here's Michael Sowers. 3rd all-time in assists. Over to O'Neill, the crank, and the score. Schaefer never saw it. 2 assists now for Michael Sowers. He is 1 away from tying Lyle Thompson for 2nd on the all-time assist list, and 1 point away from tying former Loyola great Pat Spencer for 2nd on the all-time points list.
This is just keep it simple. Sowers distributes. Loyola's a little late rotating on their carousel, and when O'Neill can plant his feet and step in.
The game is turning at the face-off X.
Thought it was interesting last week watching Duke. They ran so much of their offense through Sowers at X. That hasn't necessarily been the case today. From what I've seen so far, they should try to get the ball to 23 as much as possible.
Here's Robertson against Rayleigh. Robertson gets top side and sneaks it by. 5-3 Duke. Joe Robertson, who's got a knack for scoring big goals throughout his Duke career.
If you watch the Thursday night ACC network games, the Thursday night thriller, well, Joe Robb delivered the exclamation point in overtime in 2.
Lindley able to shake free of JT Giles Harris. Brower on Olmstead. Brower gets to his hands. Kenny Brower's going to be a good one.
And that's just sensational feat by Brower. And then reaching his stick out to get to the gloves of the shooter to disrupt the follow through. Beautiful.
He turned into a viral video when Connor Schellenberger broke his ankles in the UVA game. James on the doorstep, cashes in his 2nd of the game, and Loyola right there within 1.
These are stubborn hounds. They've got mojo, they've got chemistry, they've got a belief. They've got Olmstead up top drawing double teams, and James not standing still, but cutting the crease. Look at him flash across your screen in the juice. I don't think I've ever seen Charlie Toomey so fired up in my life on the sideline. This is a guy who's coached Loyola for 16 years, led him to a national title, and he is digging in as a head coach every single defensive possession.
A team that lost to Towson earlier in the year. Toomey said it was frustrating playing decent lacrosse and giving up goals. They had to make a change in goal. Lindley scores from the feed from Olmstead, and Loyola has tied it at 5. Those two, the bulwarks of this offense, tutored, mentored by Pat Spencer. This is their team now. They're not just the alphas on offense, they're the leaders of this team.
Mass and Dad Pete. We got to meet some of the Loyola parents. Ryan McNulty's dad, Chris, staying with us out in Elkhart, Indiana, the RV capital of this country.
Graduation weekend at Notre Dame, all the hotels were booked.
They're believers.
Sowers on the doorstep gives Duke the lead at 6-5. And with that goal, Michael Sowers has now tied Pat Spencer for second all-time on the points list.
During that last break, we were talking how Duke has one extra man goal today. They have no goals off of riding. They have no face-off goals. They have no transitional goals. Well, there it is when they needed it most. It's Carpenter picks up the loose ball. Sowers.
McNulty marking Sowers. Sowers scoops it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. The former Princeton Tiger, the all-time leading scorer at Princeton. Flips it to Joe Robertson. Robertson top side, and he scores! We told you he's got a knack for big goals and big moments.
The senior from St. Anne's Belfield has drawn the short stick defensive midfielder on some possessions today, including this last one. And he makes him pay. Speed dodge, left-handed. Just curls this towards the middle. Super patient. Drops his hands just a bit. And look at him gradually creep out into the top of his angle.
14 saves for Schaefer. Higgins, the skip pass too high for Olmstead. And it dies just shy of the sideline. James, the bad shot! A hat trick for the sophomore from Dublin, Ohio. A one-goal game in South Bend.
Tell you, James has burst onto the scene this year as only a sophomore. Joey Kamish got hurt. Davis Lindsay has been banged up.
One team sat up front, one in the back. Coaches and staffers in first class.
I was upset not to get an invite.
You didn't like connecting through Chicago? Olmstead. Evan James ties it at 7 off the scrap heap into the goal. 7:08 to go in regulation. The underdog Greyhounds still in this.
Loose ball in front. Great effort by Higgins, 24 in green, who keeps it alive for his teammates. And James, man, this is a gritty and scrappy election show. Total purgatory mode.
Adversity has made them better. A procedure call against Loyola, so Duke has it. Less than 7 minutes to go. O'Neill to Naso, he scores! Now that wasn't Naso, that was Brian Smith. Quint Smith has been seldom used this year as a backup face-off man.
They win the restart, and they're off to the races. And Smith finishes the rush. It's a great job by 26 and White.
Great job, Smith.
Off the restart. And
The championship weekend on the line.
looks like everybody's gas tank's a little bit on empty right now, huh?
I'll go back with him, I'll come with the other guy.
Temperatures in the 80s in South Bend. Bateman. Back to Wigley for the tie! The second midfield coming through for Loyola.
Bateman carries in. Wigley steps down. Turnover. Costly. 8 apiece.
A team that was 5-5 just last month. The NCAA tournament not on their radar. Their starting goalie, Sam Schaefer, was benched, but they have won 5 straight. Here's James, he's got 4 goals, to Lindley for the lead, yes! 9-8 Loyola.
This passing. Look at the face dodge and then the dive to increase his angle. Catch, face dodge, dive across, curl that one. Duke's played in 5 close games this season.
Savio, the senior, wins the faceoff for Loyola. And now Loyola can be patient. The clock is their friend.
Duke will chase.
They do. Middleton, he can go over and back. He lost it. You can go over and back before that shot clock hits 60. Loyola coughs it up. Caputo, downfield. Sowers! He gets wrecked going to the cage. Duke's gonna go man up. This may be a 2-day. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Sowers camped out at X. Here is Michael Sowers. Now Dyson Williams, the freshman O'Neill. One of the best to play the game. Sowers to Brennan O'Neill, who scores! The transcendent senior to the generational freshman, and we're tied at 9.
O'Neill's money. He's not even flinching. Sowers with the wing pass. O'Neill catch. Crow hop in rhythm, in motion. His eyes are on the keeper. He's shooting hard to the general low.
Scores over to Caputo. O'Neill's got 4 goals. 6 in this tournament. We're back at even strength. Interesting matchup there, O'Neill and LeBlanc. First game back in about a month for LeBlanc from injury.
Sowers got a big advantage in the quickness department with this matchup. Loyola's got a double and double early.
One of the best to ever pick up a stick and play at this level. Sowers gives it up. Robertson's been captain clutch. Montgomery now. He'll fire a save.
And a good one.
Here we go. Sowers accelerates. 2 seconds. O'Neill can't get the shot off, and we go to overtime. Carpenter's got 2 goals this year. He'll slam on the brakes. No timeouts now. You only get 1 in overtime.
Duke's got a matchup. They got Patra stuck on the field here as they sub off and on.
Now Patra and Carpenter both run off. Garrett Ledman runs on. He had the big game-tying goal to force overtime against Virginia. Ledman coming down the alley. 6'4". Now Robertson. Robertson against LeBlanc. Robertson falling down. It bounces in. He did it again. Joe Robertson wins it in overtime for Duke. His 3rd overtime winner of the season. He scored the overtime winner in the quarterfinals 2 years ago against Notre Dame. And Duke headed to championship weekend for a 3rd straight season.
This is a young man, torn ACL, missed the season. He's been total clutch this season. As he initiates this dodge, you're kind of saying to yourself, what's he doing? There's nothing there. But it shows your belief and confidence. And this ball slowly bounces, kind of handcuffs Sam Schaefer. Eerily similar to a Duke overtime winner in the semifinals a few years ago against Notre Dame.
The quarterfinal against Notre Dame in 2019. Robertson didn't have a lot of juice on the goal. It was a bounce shot, and it beat Matt Schmidt. This time, it gets by Schaefer. Sam Schaefer was spectacular.